Hi guys, Simon Palmer here on the south coast of England from meetsimonpalmer.com. So the last couple of poor connection. Last couple of days we've spoken about total inner peace, living in blisscipline, and all of this is to try and get you to where you want to go. But do you know where you want to go? That can be the trickiest thing. I have spent a long time since I was introduced to this concept about identifying goals and achieving them, but it never really held true with me about I don't know, getting the car or getting a holiday or going to and doing specific things. And I don't know why I didn't consciously think it, but I think it must have been something to do with there was a bigger thing than I've realised now that I need to find a mission. And do you have a mission? So yesterday you talked about being selfish and to follow your heart, and you need to follow your heart because when you start doing things that's a bit different from everyone else, they don't necessarily like it, and they do it in your best interest as they see it, but they don't want you to go any further than what they've done or where you've been before, because you've got this potential of getting hurt. So most people, friends and family, are usually pretty negative if you start rocking the boat a little bit. But you have to follow your heart. You have to be a little bit selfish because you are the only person that can see that vision, and you have to be strong. But what we need to do is change the paradigm of career, because we can't all not anymore, we can't all go and get a 9-to-5 job. There's no jobs for life, anything like that. So we need to change what we're doing, and not just for us but for our kids, because it's going to be so very, very different for our kids, and it's a radical change. And you don't want to chase a career. You want to identify a mission and chase that. You don't want to go and chase the money. Chase the mission, because if you don't chase the money, chase the mission, because if you chase the mission, the money will chase you. What we invariably find is the people with the most money, they don't do it for the money. That's a byproduct of what they do. They love what they do because they have this mission. If you think about school teachers, when you were a kid at school, you ended up doing the subjects that you enjoyed the most, and you invariably enjoyed them the most because of the teacher that was teaching them to you. So that one teacher at a very early stage can shape the rest of your life because of that, learning that subject. So go with what you love. That's when you feel happiest, and that's when you'll do your best work. It's not all about the money. It's about giving meaning and feeling happier. And it's the sort of things that if you are happy, you're able to jump out of bed in the morning and get on with it. So what's the mechanism of identifying this thing? Well, there's a guy called Martin Rutter who asked a very simple question, and we need to ask that to ourselves. If we want to change the world or just change ourselves, that question is, what is your vision of heaven on earth? And heaven isn't necessarily all-encompassing for everybody, so let's just call it, what is your vision of paradise on earth? It could be all kinds of things. I mean, it may be eliminating homelessness or eliminating hunger across the world. And these are big, huge concepts, of course they are. But it may be just making sure that everyone uses electric cars in cities, or just trying to get everyone fresh water anywhere around the world. There was a UN project which was called My World in 2015. Let's get a bit bright. My World in 2015, and nearly 8 million people were polled for this by the United Nations, to see what they care about most in the world. So the thing that people care about most is education. And then there's a list of things, but what you'll find is that probably if your mission has something to do with one of these things, then it's going to be well received. So education, healthcare, better job opportunities, having an honest and responsive government, affordable and nutritious food, and protection from crime and violence, and access to clean water and sanitation. So that they were the top things on the list, sort of half a dozen or 7 key areas. And that's where I think you need to try and find a mission, because it's not easy to find a mission, but that's your roadmap to finding your mission. So try and find it in one of those 7 things. Because this is whether it's for your mission. I'm trying to identify my mission at the moment, and I'm pretty sure it's in there with a couple of those things. And so whilst we're educating ourselves, we need to be educating our kids as well, and we don't need to be asking them, what do you want to do when you grow up, or what do you want to do when you leave university? You want to be asking them, what would they like to change, or what's their mission? So the difference between the career, where you end up doing your 9-to-5 job, and whether it's for a humanity negative or a humanity positive company, you tend to wake up at the age of 40 odd, your so-called midlife crisis, and wonder, what am I doing? And that's if you've still got the same job that you started off with, which is highly unlikely and even less likely in the future. Whereas if you're if you've got a mission that's pulling you forward, that allows you to jump happily out of bed in the morning to chase it, then you need to be asking, which areas of humanity can you help humanity fix? So yeah, how do you get started? Well, consider those 7 things that I mentioned: education, healthcare, better job opportunities, honest and responsive governments, affordable and nutritious food, protection from crime and violence, access to clean water and sanitation. So just to give you an example, you've probably all heard of Elon Musk. And I don't know if you know his story, but he was an engineer, which is interesting for me because I've got 2 sons now at university, both doing engineering of one type or another. And actually, number 2 son just sent me a message today, said, do I have any contacts at Tesla? So if any of you know any contacts at Tesla, please share, let me know, introduce me. I actually do have one, but the more the merrier. But when he just graduated from college, he thought he'd go and get a job, and he went off to Netscape, which was sort of the number 1 online business at the time, Netscape. And he sat there with his resume CV in the waiting room, waiting for someone to come and get him for interview. And no one turned up, and he'd had enough. And so what he did, he just got up and said, F this, I'm out of here, I'm going to start my own company. And I don't know if any of you know, but what happened next was he started PayPal, which he sold a few years later for $200 million, and has subsequently started SpaceX. And that SpaceX now send rockets to the moon or to the space station instead of NASA. NASA doesn't do it anymore. Elon Musk's company does it. And since then, there's more for him. He started Tesla Motors because he wants to see battery-powered cars around the world. So that's how he started, just by randomly just going for it. Just sat in a waiting room and thought, sod this, I'm going to go off and do something on my own. So that's why you follow your heart, follow what's in here, because it will guide you through it, and it'll. It's not that it drives you; because your mission drags you, it attracts you to it. It doesn't push you, which is generally what a career does when you have to get up early and it pushes you to work and the boss pushes you to do this, push that. So find something that's going to attract you, that's going to draw you ever closer. So that's the next stage in the evolution of yourself and achieving a mission. I'll tell you a little bit more about how we can bend our own reality next time. And my mission is still a work in progress, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to involve how we educate people on what they do in their jobs in future. Not necessarily having a job, because there's so many different opportunities how you can monetize what your passion is now. So that'll be part of my mission. So education will be part of my mission, and definitely helping people with their achieving their own missions, living their own hopes and dreams. So that's what my mission will be. I haven't identified it or put it down into a nice little sound bite yet, but watch this space. It's been really poor connection today. It keeps cutting out, so sorry if it's bad or if the sound's bad or anything like that, but have a look on my fan page where you will have found this video. Give me some likes, please. We need to bump that up a little bit more. Share this video if it resonates at all, and remember, it's all up there, or everything you need is in there. So I will see you on the next one. Thanks for listening.